In the FMCG, the taxation is now said to be GST, Goods and Services Tax. All across the category in the FMCG, it attracts GST, which has got different slabs. Depending on the different categories of product, the GST varies like 5%, 12%, 18%, and even there is a slab which is 28%. So the FMCG attracts GST, which is the new taxation in FMCG, right? So the four slabs are 5%, 12%, 18%, and for some luxurious and high-end products, it's 28%. Now, GST, the rule normally is predefined by the government or the GST Council of India, and it can vary in a financial year. That would be for making ease of doing business, or if at all there is any kind of amendment that has to take place. So GST has normally it's divided as three important components, like CGST, which is called Central Goods and Services Tax, SGST, which is called the State GST, and IGST, which is Integrated GST. Now, let me tell you in very, very simple words, if the billing takes place within the same state, say the billing is taking place in one state of Uttar Pradesh and it's happening in Lucknow, and the buyer is sitting in Kanpur. So Lucknow will raise a bill to the buyer in Kanpur. Both the transaction is happening, the buying and the selling process is happening within the same state of UP. In such case, it will attract CGST and SGST. Hypothetically, if the product is attracting 5% GST, in such a case, 5% will be equally divided as 2.5% CGST and 2.5% SGST. And now, if the billing is taking place from one state to another state, then it attracts IGST. There will be no CGST or SGST in case the billing takes place in two different states. Supposing the seller is from Lucknow and the buyer is from Bangalore. In such a case, the bill will be raised by the seller in Lucknow as IGST 5%. There will be no breakup of 5% because it is only integrated GST that will be applied. So the invoice will have the GST charged as only 5%, and that would be under the head of integrated GST, IGST. All right. Now, if you observe very carefully, all the e-commerce companies who operates on a pan-India level, they will have to deal with the invoicing basis IGST most of the time, because the order can come from any state and the supply may happen from the principal state where it is based out. Supposing the vendor is located in Gurgaon and the order is coming from Kolkata. In such a case, the invoice will be mid GST, whatever the slab is applicable, but it will be IGST. All right. And on the flip side, if the business is happening within the state, it will imply CGST and SGST. Whatever is the slab will be having an equal split. Say 12% GST. If the product attracts 12% GST, in that case, CGST and IGST will have a split of 6% each, right? And in a similar way, 18% will have 9% CGST, 9% SGST. So I just would like to paraphrase and give you the summary. FMCG categories attract GST, which stands Goods and Services Tax. The GST normally gets amended in a financial year by the GST Council of India. More so, it is already formalized and not much changes are taking place in GST. GST has got different slabs depending on the product category. The product categories are basically put into the different slabs, and this is already given in the GST index, as in which product category will attract what kind of percentage in GST, right? GST, if billed within the same state, will apply CGST and SGST, which will have the equal split of the GST percentage. If the billing takes place in between two states, in such a case or situation, IGST will be put on the invoice, right? Now, let's take an example of a company that manufactures a beauty soap and sells it at an MRP rupees 30 per piece, and it is generally sold in bunches of 3 at the rate 90 rupees, which is in INR, Indian currency. ये जो पॉइंट है वो ये कहता है कि एक कंपनी है जो ब्यूटी सोप बनाती है और एक ब्यूटी सोप का कीमत यानी कि MRP 30 रुपए रखी गई है और नॉर्मली ये 3 के बंडल में सेल होती है। देयरफॉर एक यूनिट जो कि 3 है उसका MRP 90 रुपीज हो जाएगा। ऑलराइट, 3 सोप, एक यूनिट 90 रुपए। हम ऐसा मान के चले सोप की कीमत 90 रुपए MRP है। ये कंपनी, द कंपनी परचेज रॉ मटेरियल वर्थ 50 रुपीज प्लस GST जो कि 6 रुपए होते हैं और यहां पे 12% की INR होती है। what is it trying to say? ये कंपनी ये 90 रुपए का माल बनाने के लिए, ये कंपनी 90 रुपए का माल बनाने के लिए 50 रुपए की लागत लगाती है रॉ मटेरियल की और उस पे 12% का GST है। तो 12% 50 रुपए पे कितना होगा? तो GST कितने का हुआ? 6 रुपए का। तो हाउ मच इज द GST लिवाइड हियर? 6 रुपीज। 6 रुपए का GST हुआ, विच इज 12% ऑफ 50 रुपए। ओके, आगे पढ़ते हैं। द कंपनी देन एड्स इट्स ओन वैल्यू ऑफ converting the raw material into usable product like soap bar, including margin of 20 per bunch. This brings the gross value of product to INR 70. यहां पे क्या बताई जा रही है कि ये जो 90 रुपए का MRP तैयार हुआ है उसमें 50 रुपए का लागत लगा है और इस 50 रुपए के लागत के ऊपर 20 रुपए का उन्होंने तय किया प्रॉफिट ऐड करना। इस पे 3 वाले बंडल पे। तो 90 रुपीज का जो MRP बना है उसको बनाने की कॉस्ट हमारी कितनी है? 50 रुपए, और जो प्रॉफिट तय हुआ है वो है 20 रुपीज। ओके, अभी यहां पे 50 रुपए बेसिक प्राइस है और 20 रुपए का प्रॉफिट है, तो हमारा प्रोडक्ट का नया दाम क्या हो गया? 70 रुपए। एक चीज ध्यान दीजिएगा, कभी भी कोई भी टैक्स बेसिक प्राइस पे लगाई जाती है, ना कि नेट प्राइस पे। बेसिक प्राइस का मतलब है वो प्राइस जिस पे कोई टैक्स नहीं लगाया गया हो, और उसी प्राइस पे हमेशा टैक्स लगाई जाती है। जैसे 50 रुपए हमारा रॉ मटेरियल था, हमने उस पे 12% की जीएसटी लगाई। अभी 20 रुपए हमने प्रॉफिट तय किया, तो किस पे किया? 50 रुपए प्लस 6 रुपए जीएसटी, 56 रुपए पे, या फिर बेस प्राइस 50 रुपए पे? ऑफ कोर्स देयर इज अ थंब रूल दैट एनी टैक्सेशन will always be calculated on the base price। तो बेसिक प्राइस 50 रुपए है और 20 रुपए की हमारी प्रॉफिट है, टोटल हो गया हमारा 70 रुपए। यानी कि अब जो टैक्स लगेगा वो 70 रुपए पे लगेगा। लुक एट दिस लाइन। नाउ द टोटल टैक्स अमाउंट ऑन द आउटपुट ऑफ सोप बंच कम्स 8 रुपए 40 पैसे, विच इज 12% ऑफ, विच इज 12% ऑफ 70। तो हमारा क्या आया? 70 रुपए का लागत आया। दी कॉस्ट नाउ इज 70 rupees। What is this cost? This is the selling price to the distributor, or this is the landing price as base price to the distributor। तो 70 रुपए पे जीएसटी भी तो 12% लगेगा, 12%। 12% ऑफ 70 रुपीज इज 8 रुपीज 40 पैसे। नाउ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, जस्ट पे अटेंशन। 6 रुपए हमने रॉ मटेरियल खरीदते समय सरकार को दे दिया। वी हैव ऑलरेडी पेड 6 रुपीज विच वॉज जीएसटी ऑन 50 रुपीज। नाउ व्हेन वी आर सेलिंग दिस to the distributor at the rate 70, then the GST collected from the buyer who is distributor is 8 rupees 40 पैसे। इस केस में जिस कंपनी ने माल बनाया और बेचा है उसने 6 रुपए पहले ही सरकार को दे दिए, तो 8 रुपए 20 पैसे में बैलेंस टू पे इज ओनली 2 रुपीज 40 पैसे। So once the distributor pays 8 rupees 40 paise, then the company has to only remit 2 rupees 40 paise, which is balance to be paid as GST, because already 6 rupees has been paid earlier। 6 रुपए पहले दे चुके हैं, बैलेंस 2 रुपए 40 पैसे ही हमें जीएसटी देने हैं। So now if you look here, the total GST is GST already paid while in purchase of raw material plus 2 rupees 40 paise that is collected by selling this product। So what is the buying price of distributor? 70 rupees is basic price, but finally landing price with the GST is 70 plus 8 rupees 40 paise। That makes 70 rupees, 78 rupees 40 पैसे। I hope this is clear। प्रोडक्ट 50 रुपए का था, उस पे लागत, प्रोडक्ट 50 रुपए के लागत का था, उस पे प्रॉफिट 20 रुपए का लगाया गया। जो खरीदते समय जीएसटी दी गई थी वो 12% था 50 रुपए का, यानी कि 6 रुपए देना था, सरकार को दे दिया। 20 रुपए की प्रॉफिट ऐड करी, टोटल प्राइस ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट 70 रुपए बन गए। 70 रुपए बेसिक प्राइस है, ये डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर का बेसिक प्राइस बन गया। जीएसटी लगेगा तो 8 रुपए 40 पैसा 12% के हिसाब से। हमने ऑलरेडी 6 रुपए सरकार को दे दिए, बैलेंस 2 रुपए 40 पैसे ही और जीएसटी को देना है। और जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर माल खरीदा उसका लैंडिंग इंक्लूडिंग जीएसटी 78 रुपीज 40 पैसे हो गए, बेस प्राइस 70 रुपए हो गए। क्लियर? आगे बढ़ते हैं। नाउ द सोप इज विद द डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर एट 70 रुपीज बेसिक एंड जीएसटी 8 रुपए 40 पैसे। अभी डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर इज सपोज टू टेक 5% मार्जिन, तो 5% ऑफ कितना? बेस प्राइस, ऑलवेज रिमेंबर 70 रुपए। तो 5% ऑफ 70 रुपए इज 3 रुपीज 50 paise, right? So what is the new price with profit, meaning selling price further to the retailer? रिटेलर के लिए खरीद दाम क्या होगा? 70 रुपीज के ऊपर प्रॉफिट 3.5 रुपए का, सो इट इज 73 रुपीज 50 पैसे एज बेसिक प्राइस प्लस जीएसटी 12%, right? In this case, what is happening? The distributor is billing to the retailer at the rate 73 rupees 50 paise and charging 12% GST on 73 rupees 50 paise, which is amounting 8 rupees 82 paise. Now look and watch carefully. How much money did distributor already paid as GST while purchasing? It was 8 rupees 40 paise. Now how much GST he is taking while selling it to the retailer? It is 8 rupees 82 paise. So what is the difference? The difference is only 42 paise. So the retailer is paying 8 rupees 82 paise, but the distributor has already paid 8 rupees 40 paise to GST. Now balance he has to pay is how much? Only 42 paise. In such a case, how much is the price, landing price to retailer? It is basic 73.5 plus GST 8.82. So the landing price becomes 82 rupees 32 paise. Clear? So the retailer has bought the product from distributor at basic price 73 rupees 50 paise, including GST, which is 12% of 73.50 is 8 rupees 82 paise. Thus the final landing is 82 rupees 32 paise. Now in the final step, what is happening? The retailer will be selling it to the consumer. So what is happening here? The retailer bought at itna with GST itna, and therefore the final was what we have seen in the previous slide. But अभी retailer अपना भी तो margin लगाएगा 73 rupees 50 पैसे पे, इस वाले amount पे. So when he has to take his margin, that is 9.33, when he's charging 9.33 on 73.55, that amount is 6 rupees 86 paise. Okay, so 6 rupees 86 paise will be added here, this plus this. So 73.5 plus 6.86, that will make 80 rupees 36. यानी कि बेस प्राइस 73.50 पैसे और प्रॉफिट 6 रुपीज 86 पैसे, टोटल हो जाएगा 80.36 बेसिक प्राइस, और जीएसटी 12% लगेगा इस पे, यानी कि 9 रुपीज 64 पैसे. तो 9 रुपीज 64 पैसे इज व्हाट जीएसटी कस्टमर और कंज्यूमर इज पेइंग टू द रिटेलर. रिटेलर ने पहले ही कितने दे दिए हैं? इफ यू रिमेंबर, retailer has already paid GST of, if you see here, 8 rupees 82 paise. अभी उसने कलेक्ट कितना करा with the customer से उसने लिया 9 rupees 64 paise. So what he has to do is he has to only pay the balance of, who, the retailer has to pay the balance of 0.82 paise GST to the GST filing. One unit was for 30 rupees. Soap was bundled as 3 units and the MRP was decided as 90. Raw material cost was how much? 50. 12% of 50 rupees is 6 rupees. So जो 6 रुपए उन्होंने खरीदते समय लिया, वो जीएसटी को पे कर दिया, तो 6 rupees was already paid. Now 20 rupees is the company margin, so 70 rupees is the new price. 70 rupees is the base price and 12% is the GST. So 8.4 rupees is the GST, which is upon selling this product to the distributor. So distributor buys this product for 70 rupees plus 8.4 GST, finally 78 rupees 40 paise, and the base price is 70. So the company has already paid 6 rupees GST. Now he has to only submit 2.4 of his total 8.4 as GST. Now this is company is done with GST calculation. Let us see the distributor. Distributor has bought at 70 rupees and 8.4 rupees was his GST amount. In that case, he is adding 5%, which is amounting 3.5 rupees, right? So the new basic price to sell to the retailer is 73.5. While he's selling, he's charging 12% GST, which amounts 8 rupees 82 paise. Well, how much distributor has already paid while purchasing from the company? 8 rupees 40 paise. And now he is collecting 8 rupees 82 paise. So balance he has to pay to GST is 0.42, which is 42 paise only. And once he has submitted his GST, distributor is also done. Retailer is buying at what price? 73.5. Correct? So retailer is buying at 73.5 and retailer is paying how much? 12%, and that is 8.82. Well, in case of retailer, if you see, his landing becomes 73 plus the GST that he has paid, 82 rupees 32 paise. Now the retailer has to sell to consumer and he's charging 9.33% as margin. So when on basic, if you do 9.33, 6.86 is the amount that is retailer's margin. And if you grand total that, the basic price to the customer is 80.36. However, 12% amount will be 9.64. If you add this with 80.36, it is MRP value 90 rupees. All right. So how much did the consumer pay GST? 9.64. Therefore, if you look how much retailer has already paid, he has already paid 8 rupees 82 paise. So the difference is only 82 paise that the retailer has to pay the GST. So all of the people have done the GST payment. Now if you look here very carefully, how much is the GST? 9.64. So if you grand total all of these, 6 rupees, 2.4, 0.42 and 0.82, it will add up to 9.64. This is how the GST calculation is done.